ORPtv is brought to you by All Parts Auto Salvage, 2600 North Benton. Let us help you fix your car. Clements Auto Salvage, your 4x4 connection to the Ozarks, located in Branson, Missouri. Schaefer Motors in Marshfield. Sigs and Swigs in Nixon, Missouri. Josh's Mobile Auto Repair and More in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Precision Lawn Care, Quality Truck Services and Quality Detail Services. Rebel Saints Barbershop. Collins Studio Tattoos and Spa. D&D Concrete Construction, Priority Welding and Fabrication, JK's Auto Repair in Ozark, Missouri, Springfield Window Cleaning, and Tribodyn.com. That's TRIBODYN.com. Tribodyn.com. Enter offer code ORPTV10 and get 10% off of your order. And remember, all orders over $99 will get free shipping to your home. That's Tribodyn.com. Offer code ORPTV10.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, would you bring your attention to for a feast for your eyes to see?
Welcome to ORPtv. I'm Craig Stegner, coming to you from the Rad Auto Lift studio. It is Sunday, February 24th, and it has been, for us personally, an extremely busy weekend. We start off with our trip to Tunica, Mississippi for the Nitro Arena Cross World Championships of Arena Cross. This is at the Paul Battle Arena in Tunica, Mississippi, put on by Motorhead Events. Mary and I made the trip yesterday, headed down, left about 9 o'clock yesterday morning, made it to Tunica by 2:30. Had a great time watching a lot of the racing, meeting a lot of riders that we had not yet met, making some new friends and contacts, and had a great time. And the racing action was fantastic. 450 class was dominated all weekend, Friday and Saturday, by Addison Emery from Owasso, Oklahoma. Addison has his pro license already for Canada, and I believe one other pro series, and he is just barely shy of being qualified for the AMA Supercross. I believe he's the outdoor he already has, is what he said. So you'll be seeing him very soon on AMA Monster Energy Supercross. Addison Emery with a 4-for-4 weekend, 4 wins between 250 and 450, both on Friday and Saturday. Both days had the same results both days. 450 on Friday was Addison Emery, Jeremy Williamson from Team ORPtv, and Matthew Weekly from Atoka, Tennessee. That's exactly how they finished in the 250 class also, with Emery, Williamson, and Weekly. Friday night, Team ORPtv girl and current number 1 in the points in the nation for the 50cc 4 to 8 year old air-cooled class, Tinley McCoy from Mumford, Tennessee, finished 3rd in the 4 to 8 air-cooled. And then in the open class, where you have, this is anybody on the 50cc, so they could be anywhere from 4 up to, I believe, 9 years old. So quite a difference when you're talking about difference between a 5-6 year old and an 8 or 9 year old on these bikes. A top 10 though, 10th place for Tinley. Toby Barnes, also from Springfield, Missouri, rode 3 classes both Friday and Saturday. Friday in the 50cc air-cooled, that 4 to 8 class, a 5th place. In the 50cc 4 to 6 junior class, a 5th place. And the mini ATV beginners, a 1st place. Then Saturday, last night, while we were in Tunica, 450 class, Addison Emery, again, super fast, dominates both the 450 and 250. Jeremy Williamson, who was 2nd in both classes, did have the fastest lap though, so they were kidding each other back and forth a little bit last night about that. So Jeremy Williamson with a pair of 2nds in the 250 and 450 pro class, with Michael Hicks coming in finished 3rd, both those. So those classes were mirror images of each other from the 450 to 250. I would tell you that earlier in the day, Friday, Addison Emery had a dislocated shoulder, had to have some assistance getting that back into place. And then Jeremy Williamson also had some shoulder issues yesterday. So both riders a little bit sore, but it kind of evened it out, perhaps. I don't know. But was really interesting and really great to see was that these two riders, especially all three of them, but especially Emery and Williamson, had such a close camaraderie with each other that they really bragged about each other, knowing that they can race hardcore and hard and not have to worry about the other one taking them out, that it's going to be really clean racing. You probably see these two guys both racing up into the pros, not too far off, both young men and both really, really good riders. Addison Emery, I found out that his nickname was the Spider Monkey based on how he's kind of gangly and all over his bike. He said he didn't know how often he even has his feet on the pegs going over the finish line. So it was really neat getting to meet Addison Emery, and of course Jeremy Williamson we already knew as a Team ORPtv motocross racer, and getting to meet Michael Hicks this weekend. So then last night in the 50cc air-cooled, Tinley McCoy with a second place, and then in the open class a 10th. So a pair of top 10s in the 50cc open and a second and a third in the 4 to 6 or 4 to 8 air-cooled. Again, she is first place in the National Nitro Arena points for the 4 to 8 air-cooled class. So congratulations to Team ORPtv girl and new member of the G3 racing team, Tinley McCoy. Toby Barnes come back again last night, Springfield rider, the 6th place in the air-cooled, 5th place in the juniors, and another first place in the mini ATV beginner. Congratulations to them. We did meet somebody new last night. In the girls 8 to 14 class, we met a young lady named Mackenzie Brocato from Olive Branch, Mississippi. This young lady absolutely flies in that class. She is maybe one of the fastest women on two wheels that I've ever seen, comparatively speaking, for her age groups. She'll be moving up into the next class next year because she's 14 and topping out in that 8 to 14 class. I assume she'll probably ride this schoolboy up to 16-year-old class. And I'm really anxious to see that because this girl, if anybody, we spoke last night and I asked her if her goal was possibly to try to be the first ever girl to race pro, and she said it was. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this girl has a real shot at it. She was amazing last night. A super, super rider. Firsts all across the board, Friday and Saturday in her class. She is super fast. I look forward to seeing what the future holds for Mackenzie Brocato out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. Super, super fast rider. So a great time last night in Tunica, Mississippi, thanks to Jay Reynolds and Motorhead Events and his entire staff that always does a great job, and Andrew over at 364 Productions, who gave us the technical support last night, and we worked together doing a live event. It definitely has some issues and challenges that you don't have on a recorded event. So it was there were some small issues that we had to work through to get going in the beginning, to get it all figured out with connections and router speeds and all kinds of things like that. But what little snags we had, we apologize. We know we can do better, but live events are tough, and it was great getting to know them, and each time we do it, we'll get a little bit better. So Tunica, Mississippi, a great time last night. Continuing with the motocross theme, Monster Energy Supercross was in action last night in Detroit, Michigan, the Detroit Rock City 450 class. Eli Tomac, last night was one of the few races they have that's the 3-moto format instead of tuning in and seeing 2 heat races and last chance qualifier and then a main, where if you finish in the top 4 in the first heat, you're done till the main and you race twice, so on. This is 3 motos, shorter races, add your points together, the lowest point total at the end of the night wins. Eli Tomac with a win last night, followed by Cooper Webb, and then Chad Reed. I told you, remember, I told you at the beginning of the year, Chad Reed was going to be fast this year, and a third place. That's one of the best podium. I don't remember the last time Reed had a podium finish, so a big night for Chad Reed, and Ken Roxon fourth. In the three moto format last night, Tomac with a first and a sixth. He's kind of an all or nothing. I don't quite understand what's going on with Tomac. But Cooper Webb had just the opposite night. He had a sixth and then a second and a first. So when you add those points together at the end of the night, Tomac had 8 points. Cooper Webb had 9, by way of a 1-1-6 being 8 points and a 6-2-1 9 points. So in the event of a tie, it goes to the final moto. So had Tomac finished 7th, one more place down, they would have tied for 9 points. And because Webb won the last, finished higher in the third moto, he would have had the win. So Eli Tomac, just enough to get the win last night, but the win nonetheless. However, Cooper Webb, based on his strong performance last night as second, maintains the points lead. So your top 4 in points as they stand right now, Cooper Webb, he's going to keep that red plate. Ken Roxon, Marvin Muskin, and Eli Tomac. In the 250 class from Richards, Missouri, over around Nevada area, Austin Faulkner continues what's been a perfect year so far. He's won both 250 East mains in the 2 races going into this, and then last night 3 first places. So Austin Faulkner is absolutely destroying this 250 class. It's barring any unforeseen problems. Austin Faulkner's the only competition there is going to be who's second for that year, for the year on that. Jordan Smith last night was second, followed by Chase Sexton. When we talked about the Tunica race last night, the World Championships of Arena Cross, these are riders that you will ultimately see, some of them, like Addison Emery and Jeremy Williamson, up in these pro classes. Earlier in the year, we talked about Blake Wharton from Texas with the long black curly hair. Kind of looks like a cross between Troy Polamalu and Jason Momoa from Aquaman. He has moved up into this class and finished 10th last night. So a top 10 finish last night for Blake Wharton. And if you were at some of the early Nitro Arena Cross races this year, you saw Blake there. So a really good job last night by Blake Wharton out of Texas to go to Detroit and a top 10 finish. So congratulations to especially Austin Faulkner, who's from the Nevada area with continuing a perfect season. NASCAR is back in action in Atlanta this weekend. Yesterday, instead of doing a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was 2 races yesterday. So the Gander Outdoor Series ran during the afternoon, followed by the Xfinity. Kyle Busch in his number 51 Toyota went into that race tied for first all-time victories in the Gander Series with 51 wins. He wins it last night, his 52nd career win in the Truck Series, which puts him at first as the all-time winningest Truck Series racer. Kyle Busch first, Johnny Sauter second, and Grant Enfinger third. Last night, a pair of women in the top 25. Jennifer Jo Cobb with a 22nd place, and Natalie Decker, who's in just her second race, as we talked about last week, had only got a couple laps in before she had a truck issue, overcome a couple spins last night, and finished 24th. So a really solid performance last night by both ladies, Jennifer Jo Cobb and Natalie Decker. Really good job there. In the Xfinity last night, Chris Bell with a first, Cole Custer second, and Justin Allgaier third. And going on right now, or probably hopefully just finishing up as you're watching this, is the Monster Energy Sprint Cup Series. And I saw earlier that this is Kurt Busch's 650th start and Kyle Busch's 500th. So exactly 150 starts separate the two of them, but milestone marks for both of the Busch brothers in this race in Atlanta. on our Team ORPtv girl front, we saw last night that Mariah Alverson is back to doing some racing. So her collarbone is, I think she's actually been cleared to ride, and not that she was riding without being authorized by a doctor, right? So Mariah Alverson back to riding now. She was in, I believe, Ponca City with her boyfriend, and she was getting some riding done. So it's good to see Mariah Alverson back in the seat. Look forward to seeing Stephanie Frazee. The Dirt Track Series of Monette will be starting up soon. I know that she's been doing some mechanical work on her car, trying to get it set up. Courtney Gerald's got a motocross camp coming up here very soon. Also, Caitlin Daly. I know she's itching to ride. I desperately want to see her in that Nitro Arena Cross Series taking on the boys in the ATV class. So hopefully we can get that to happen in next year. Miranda Maverick. We got some news about Miranda Maverick coming off the fight last weekend in Kansas City, Kansas. She has a busy month coming up. March 2nd, she'll be fighting in Altoona, Iowa for the Sub-Spectrum 7 135-pound championship. So looking to add another championship title to her record. And then March 30th, she'll be at the Toro Cup in Durham, North Carolina. And I believe that's kind of an exhibition bout that she'll be fighting there. So what's really amazing about what Miranda Maverick is doing is that not only is she fighting professional MMA, she's also doing some of these other tournaments, and she's in graduate school at Old Dominion University. So I can only imagine when she gets done with school and not doing term papers and presentations for her for college, when she can focus on nothing but MMA, what an amazing career she has ahead of her. And part of that, what we're helping do is make sure that some of those expenses are covered. One of the best ways to do that right now is purchase of the new Miranda Fear the Maverick t-shirt. And those are available. You can find those on her fan page on Facebook at Miranda Fear the Maverick. So go over there, help those out. Pick up one of those shirts, $25. That'll go towards helping her with her travels and expenses. And a fantastic young woman. So we're really proud of her and everything she's done. That wraps it up for this Sunday, February 24th. We'll be back here next week. In conclusion, I just want to reiterate again, I posted about it, ended up being a few hours ago. We made the trip last night from Nixa to Tunica, Mississippi. Was there for 10 hours and then turned around and made the 5.5 hour trip back to Nixa. It absolutely would not have been possible without my business associate, my best friend, and my wife, Mary Stagner, Mrs. Stagg, who goes above and beyond every week for me with the support and technical support and emotional support, and quite literally the physical support of helping pack stuff up. She just does a fantastic job, and it can't be understated how important it is and how much it's appreciated. I love you to death, Mary. Thank you so much for everything. So for ORPtv, I'm Stag, and we'll see you back here next week.